Am I ready to take a gamble on more European food this week? And welcome back to Cliffy Land. This is Weekend Country number 115 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Monaco. Monaco, the second smallest independent state in the world after the Vatican City / the Holy See, is located on the Mediterranean Sea, south of France and really near the border of Italy. Its cuisine is, as you'd imagine, very Mediterranean. It's very heavy into things like seafood and is very influenced by the food of the south of France with a little bit of Italian influence. Tonight we're doing the same 3 dishes we did last time, so let's take a look and see how things went when we tried things then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I was really excited to get to do this food of a very, very tiny country, and I was surprised to find that, as you'd imagine, with all that French influence, it is a lot of different dishes that are typical to the region, but specifically, I found 3, I did 3, and they came out really well. The first one I did is socca, which is sort of a chickpea crepe, and sort of like a pancake. It was really delicious. I did kind of mess it up a little way, but oh boy, was it good, and I was really looking forward to doing that one again this time. I served that with a salmon provençal, which is a salmon in an almond sauce, which also was very delicious. And lastly, I did that with a risotto alla porcini, which is a risotto rice with porcini mushrooms. So those were all really great. Looking forward to doing them again. So let's take a look and see what go into those dishes. First, for our socca, or chickpea crepes, we'll need 1 cup of chickpea flour, 1 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of olive oil plus extra for cooking, salt, pepper, and 1/8 teaspoon of ground cumin. Then, for our risotto al porcini, or rice with mushrooms, we'll need 2 chicken bouillon cubes, 1/2 to 1 cup of chicken broth, 1 quart of boiling water, 1 ounce of dried porcini mushrooms, or use fresh. Here we're using a mushroom mix, which has porcini mushrooms in it, since we weren't able to find the porcini mushrooms by themselves. 1 tablespoon of butter plus 2 tablespoons to steam and brown the sausages, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/2 of a small onion chopped, 1 cup of arborio rice, 1/4 cup of white wine, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese grated, and 4 or 5 sausage links, which will be steamed and browned. And then for our salmon provençal, we'll need 2 salmon fillets skinned, 3 tablespoons of almonds chopped, 2 tablespoons of butter softened, 2 tablespoons of fine breadcrumbs dry, 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese grated, 2 teaspoons of fresh or dried basil, 2 teaspoons of fresh or dried parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of lemon peel shredded fine, 1 garlic clove minced, or use 1/2 teaspoon of prepared minced garlic, and 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. This looks like it's shaping up to be a small wonder. Let's get cooking.
Whisk together the chickpea flour with water, olive oil, cumin, salt and pepper, and whisk until the mixture pours easily. When you've attained a crepe-like batter, cover and set aside for 30 minutes to 1 hour at room temperature. Meanwhile, preheat the broiler. Place 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a skillet and heat the skillet under the broiler until screaming hot. Once ready, coat the bottom of the pan with a layer of the batter, and once it's sizzling, place it under the broiler until golden brown. Slice up in wedges and serve while still hot and crispy. Heat a medium-sized pan over medium heat. Add 2 tablespoons of butter and wait for it to begin bubbling. Place the sausage links into the frying pan and cook the links, turning them with tongs until all sides are brown. Pour a small amount of the water into the frying pan so that the entire bottom of the pan is covered with water. Use just enough water to cover the bottom because excess water can dilute the flavor of the sausage. Place a lid on the frying pan and cook the links for 5 minutes. Open the links and turn the links over. Replace the lid and continue cooking for an additional 5 minutes. Remove the lid and using a meat thermometer check for doneness. Remove to a plate. Heat a large skillet over medium heat. Add butter and oil and heat until shimmering or foaming. Meanwhile, pour half the boiling water over the mushrooms and pour the remaining boiling water over the bouillon cubes or powder to dissolve. Once the oil and butter are heated, add in the diced onion and saute the onions until golden. Add the rice and stir in well. When the rice has absorbed the butter, add the wine. Stir until the wine evaporates, and then in a separate saucepan heat the chicken broth. Add the mushrooms with their liquid, and stir until the rice has absorbed most of the liquid. Add the hot chicken broth into the rice mixture, and add the dissolved chicken bouillon. Stir in the Parmesan cheese and the sausages, and cover the skillet. Simmer until the rice is fully cooked and most of the liquid has been absorbed. Rinse the salmon fillets, pat dry. Here you should probably season with salt, although the recipe omits this. Into a bowl, place the almonds, softened butter, breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, basil, parsley, lemon peel, garlic, and black pepper. Mix together well, then grease a baking dish with the additional butter. Place the salmon in a baking dish and spoon the almond mixture on top of the fillets and spread evenly. Bake the salmon at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 to 6 minutes on each side, or 6 minutes per half inch of thickness of the fillets, or until the salmon flakes easily with a fork. Plate servings of the salmon, plate servings of the risotto, and slice up the soca and plate alongside.
How did that turn out? Magnifique. It was wonderful. And I was really happy I did it. The crepe pancake, the soca first, was really great, super easy. I didn't make the same mistake I did last time. I had a cast iron skillet, which was very helpful in that. It was really, really delicious. The only complaint I'd have is on my own is that since I had to use the oven for the salmon dish, I had to take it out of the oven earlier. It wasn't really as hot as it should be. If it had been hotter, it would have been great. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 globes, 5 if it had been fresh out of the oven hot, and again, that's a me thing. Secondly, the salmon provençal. That was very, very delicious. As I may have mentioned, the dish I did had the skin on the salmon because I don't really trust my own skills in being able to get it off and still maintain that whole thing in one piece. Again, that's a technique thing. So mine was really delicious. It could have been better if I, knew what I was doing a little more. But I'm going to give the salmon provençal 4 out of 5 globes. Super great. And lastly, the risotto alla porcini. As I mentioned, I wasn't able to find porcini mushrooms by themselves. I had a mix of different mushrooms, but that didn't really seem to take anything away from it because it was super delicious. I did manage to get those sausages steamed and browned really nicely, so that was a great addition to it. It was spectacular. I'm going to give the risotto alla porcini 5 out of 5 globes. Truly wonderful. And thank you, Monaco, for a really delicious dish. So that does it for Europe. We're heading back to Asia next week when we try probably the most unusual method of preparation of any dish on the entire global cooking adventure when we have the food of Mongolia. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen, follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live, like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes, remember these aren't my recipes, are found in the About section, and tune in next time. Thanks for watching and happy eating!